Pastor, I saw yesterday that you were calling for peace. You and the other community leaders, are you calling for that same thing today?
Oh, absolutely. Peace doesn't happen until God shows up. And we can request and desire all the things that we want, and we will get them. But the first thing has to start with level heads and a peaceful process. And peaceful doesn't mean no teeth. It just means peaceful.
Pastor, what is your biggest concern with what transpired on Friday?
Yeah, if I had to say my biggest concern, it was the behavior of the officers, and also I'm concerned about the responses of our children so that we can keep everybody safe and everybody at peace. I think one of our undertones is not necessarily racism, but classism. And with our different socio-economic statuses and the way that we have McKinney set up, this now gets out of racism and into defense. So now, even if I had a good friend that was my white neighbor, now I got to defend myself.
Pastor, you said something very key a while ago. You said that the response of the police officer as well as the response of the children. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think that the children's response did not predicate the police officer's action. I want to make sure that that is clear. What they did not require for him to respond in that manner. However, with some sensitivity, we can train not just them, but also our children on how to interact and respond with authority. It's been done in other cities, it can be done in ours, and I've spoken to the superintendent, for which probably nobody really knows, and we've already agreed to bring in counselors from the city that are on vacation so that we can have a conversation with our students.
So, Pastor, it seems like you're moving toward that community policing model. You talked about the superintendent coming in, counselors coming in.
Yeah.
What else do you plan on doing to ensure you as a faith-based leader push that community policing model?
Well, the brothers of our church, we call them Impact, men passionate about changing things. They're going to be on patrol in the neighborhood where there have been death threats, and there are going to be threats about burning down houses. So we're already preparing to patrol the area with our brothers. I'm banding with my friends that are here, and we're going to, as a whole unit, come together and say, this is our city, not on our watch, and not while we're praying.
Pastor, it already seems like you have made a declaration that you don't want a Ferguson or Baltimore here in McKinney.
We're not having that. We're not having that. People that are from the outside coming in don't know our community, so they can only act like they acted in other places. But since we're a different community, I moved here for the reason I moved here. And if they look at the history of our police department, yeah, this one may have some issue. But if you look at the whole thing, it's not really about the actions of one and more about the systemic institutionalization of a behavior that people are dealing with. Until you deal with that, we'll have this all over the country. But we keep trying to say, we want justice, we want peace, he didn't do this. If we focus on one officer, well, who's going to focus on the rest of them?